So I may have spoke a little bit soon, if I will. Turns out when I say something, sometimes I have to change my opinion because I'm wrong. In this video, I want to talk about the new set, Phyrexia, All Is One, the big set that's coming out next. Now, Dominaria just released, and we have been playing around with it. I did do a video on that, and if you haven't checked that out, you can go check it out right now, and enjoy that. So as you know, if you've watched that video, you know that I bought more boosters, which is a bit weird because I, in a previous video, may or may not have said I'm not gonna buy any more magic sets, or at least boosters. And that was the main thing, was I was saying that boosters were no longer gonna be a thing for me. I was just gonna focus on the secondary market, grab some cards that I like of each set, and then just move on straight to the Tales of the Middle Earth and enjoy Lord of the Rings. And I'm inclined to say that's still where I want to be, as you know, and that's kind of where I stand, kind of. However, I've changed my opinion a little bit, and you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that my opinion's changing, and I'll humble myself and say I was wrong. I was expecting Magic to come out with a pretty lame set, and I was wrong. The set's actually really good. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So first things first, I wanted to go through like Elishnorn. I can't remember if it's Elishnorn or what, but Mother of Machines has got like 60 different variants, which is kind of cool. And I think they're doing a bunch of this kind of stuff with a lot of cards. Like I think there's going to be a lot of cards that are going to get like this crazy treatment. To be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of these 4 variants, and I'm not a fan of like these 2 versions, the regular and the Phyrexian language one. They're cool, but like I think we all can agree like this oil slick raised foil and like the borderless concept, borderless Ichor, even the mango one's kind of cool. I like that. Like I think they're all really dope, and I think you can definitely agree that this is a good direction for Magic, and I'm a big fan of it. There's a couple other things I want to show, like of course the completed planeswalkers. Now again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. If you're new to Magic, you're probably like I don't understand what you're saying. Why should I care about this, and why do I give a crap? So you should care for a couple of reasons. Even if you're not into Magic, and you're kind of like perusing, you're learning some things about Magic, you're maybe interested in getting into the game, or you have any kind of interest in what I'm talking about. If you have any sort of interest, this is cool because what you're seeing here is like long time characters, like lore characters, right? Like Magic has a story, and within this story you have these planeswalkers, and these guys are kind of like your Marvel characters of Magic. They're jumping around the multiverse because they are able to travel from place to place. This allows Magic to set their story in all kinds of different realms and different places with different styles and, you know, time periods, everything they want to do. And then these planeswalkers can kind of go through each plane and enjoy, the fun of traveling everywhere. Except when there's Phyrexians who just want to like take over the whole world. So they're kind of like the big bad of the story. Currently, there's a lot of like historically bad dudes and bad creatures and bad things, and historically planeswalkers come together to deal with it, and that's cool. So that's Magic in a nutshell as far as like lore and story wise. Like, because in the end of the day, you have to like, every card has a story to it. Every card is a part of the story or the set and like the lore that's going on there. So this is a Jace, one of the most popular longtime planeswalkers, getting completed, which means that he's basically corrupted into like this machine-like version of himself, who is just only alive now to serve the evil Phyrexian Empire. So that's cool. And we've gotten a couple other cool creatures, and one new thing, Toxic. It's good. Infect's back, baby, and I am so excited that I hadn't built my Atraxa deck yet, because I was like going for Infect and stuff. I was gonna have a great time. Now I'm like, I'm gonna hold off, because this is the main reason why I'm really interested in this set. Toxic 1 is basically whenever you do damage, that player will get a poison counter. Now, it's important to keep in mind this isn't like Infect. Like Infect works differently than Toxic does. Infect, it's like you're dealing damage in -1/1 counter. So like when you hit the creature, the enemy creature that's defending is going to go down by 1 or 2 or whatever. Usually it's 1/1s. But on top of that, if they hit, the player gets a poison counter, which means if you get 10 poison counters as a player, you just straight up die. So that's cool. So in this case, this is really cool because we're going to have new ways to proliferate these poison counters on people and do direct poison damage. And I think Infect is great, but one of its downfalls was that you were doing -1/1, you weren't doing any damage to people. And again, that's still really powerful, but like it limited. Now you got a 4/4 that can actually get through with Trample. It's not going to do like tons of Infect damage, but it's going to get those poison counters and it's going to proliferate. It's crazy. This is like really, really crazy. So like this thing, whenever it actually does get damage through to the player, it proliferates. So if you hit them, you're going to get 1 counter, then you're going to proliferate, and you're going to get 2 counters on that person. That means you're 2 already. 1 hit from this, you're 2. That's like not hard to work with. Get a couple hits. If you can get someone up to 5 poison counters in Magic, it's not going to be hard, especially in Commander or even in Standard, Modern, whatever. It's not hard to then proliferate the crap out of that until you just kill them. It's very, very easy to win with that. And we're talking fast wins. So very, very cool. There's also some really cool Dominus dudes, these Domini gods. Pretty cool. I like them a lot. I think they're cool to look at. This is really what I wanted to show you guys was the list of completed Planeswalkers, because this has kind of like been a big thing in these recent sets. Like Kamigawa was where it kind of started, and then we got one in Dominaria, and then they've had a whole bunch of people get turned in this new set. So these 4 are from like the new set. So clearly things are picking up a little bit. Luca, Nahiri, Nissa, Vraska, and Jace. Personally, the most heartbreaking one for me is Vraska, just because I'm a huge fan of her as a Planeswalker. She's like one of my favorite Planeswalkers to use, especially in like an Atraxa deck, or if you're trying to use poison counters and stuff, or just like do a ton of damage, or just she just does crazy stuff. Like some of her cards are really, really cool. This one's no exception. You draw a card, you lose 1 life, you proliferate. Like again, that means you're proliferating every turn with this Planeswalker. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to the meta, but I know in Commander, Infect is going to be... If you weren't mad at Infect before, you're going to be mad at Infect now. It's just going to be so annoying. Like Toxic counter, poison counters in general are going to be really broken, to the point where people are having conversations right now about whether or not they're going to officially raise the number. So I'm actually kind of in shock, because I'm hearing official Magic judges and rule makers talk about potentially raising that number from 10 to something else. Will it be 20? I have no idea. Like it's gonna be a conversation, because you genuinely can do it really easily now. Like the amount of proliferation, they clearly were like, we're gonna just go off. We're just going to go off. We're going to make some crazy cards, and I'm actually going to go find this one card that I think you guys will have a little bit of a heart attack. This guy, Venerated Rot Priest. Toxic 1, so that means he's doing 1 poison counter every time he hits. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. Talk about an annoying thing, because you can just do this now. Like, this is going to be more powerful in Standard, because you can have multiple of these guys, and you can just keep targeting these guys. With either, like, Destroy, you could, I don't know, like, a target doesn't necessarily need to be bad. It can be, like, a good target. So you can, as long as you're targeting this creature, you're throwing poison counters away. How hard is that to do 10 times? It's not hard. It's not hard to do this 10 times. This isn't hard. This is not, like, Magic is not hard. This is easy. This is easy Magic. You don't have to be a pro to figure this one out, boys. Boys, ladies, everyone, this is not hard. It's not hard to proliferate. It's not hard to get poison counters on people. It's not hard to give creatures Infect. There's so many things out there now where you can just win games with a couple infect creatures. You really can. And I think what's going to happen for me anyway is I'm going to probably build there's going to be a lot more tribal infect. There's going to be a lot more like completed planeswalkers and planeswalker decks. I think it's going to be really, really fun. So I'm kind of freaking out because I was trashing on these sets heavily. I was a very aggressive dude against these things. So personally, the reason why I was so anti future sets was purely because I was like, hey, here's the thing. I don't think that these sets are going to be that impressive. Like, I think they're going to have a couple like Phyrexian stuff, and that's it. And I don't have a problem with that necessarily. I don't think that means it's going to be a bad set. I just think that it's going to be really, really weird and boring and kind of like samey. Like, that was what I was thinking. Like, that's what I was just genuinely thinking we're going to get something really simple. Like, I'm not trying to like trash on Magic or anything, but like recently their sets have not told me that they had this in their back pocket. But like, this is what happens. Magic like will just suddenly figure it out and make sets that look really great. Like, this is like so fun. Like, I actually want to go play this. Like, I want to just build all Phyrexian stuff now. And that's what Magic's about, is you have to build sets that get people excited to play your freaking game. And they're doing it. They're just doing it. It's just exciting now. I don't know what to tell you. This is exciting for Commander players. This is exciting for Standard and Modern players. This is exciting for every type of gameplay because it's just cool. And yes, it's a little annoying with all the infect and bull crap. But like, why would like, we need to get over it. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I won't play with somebody that comes in with infect or toxic or poison counters. You will just die immediately. Well, guess what? You're not going to be able to kill them fast enough because they're going to freaking destroy you with these like super fast infect decks. Like these one cost poison counter crap, proliferate bull crap. And then all they got to do is get some poison counters on you and you're dead. This is cool. Like, this is what I love about Magic. And I don't like, I'm not exaggerating when I say like, I'm always cautious about Magic, and I'm always cautious to get too hype about it because I think they just don't do things well. They just have had a really rough time getting like making sets I think that are interesting and get the general public. Like, again, I think I represent a lot of the more chill players, a lot of the, I don't know, relaxed players that just are new to the game and just want to have fun, want to goof around, don't really want to take it too seriously, or maybe don't get into this stuff that often. I think I represent that crowd, and I think that crowd would be interested in this because it's cool and it's like weird and it has a cool aesthetic to it. I think I'm excited about that. So, will I buy some packs? Should you buy some packs? I think it's up to you. I think that, again, this is going to be a secondary market thing because you're going to have very specific cards that you're going to want out of this set. I think they're going to be a bit expensive, but I think you should check them out. I think if you have the money to grab some stuff off the secondary market, you should. And I think if you have the money to grab some boosters, some collectors, just for fun, I think it's one of those sets that I think the whole thing is good. Not just the top cards. I think the whole set is going to be fun. You know, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff to kind of throw into decks. Do I think it's going to be perfect? Do I think it's going to be like every card you're going to be excited? I don't think so. But I have to be honest, I opened a Dominaria Remastered and every card I opened I was excited about. Every card seems useful, and I think that's kind of like what I want to see from Magic going forward, is that when you open a gosh dang pack, you don't just feel like you're just wasting your money. You feel like, wow, I'm excited to use some of these cards. That's what I'm excited for, and that's what I personally look for. You might disagree. Let me know in the comments. What are you looking forward to? What do you want to see in this set? I'm going to talk more about this set for sure as it releases. I'm going to cover it for a little bit, and we'll see where we go from there. I think it's going to be interesting. All right, that's it. I'm not going to talk anymore. I've been talking for 17 minutes. So have a good one, and subscribe if you haven't already, because guess what? I'm just going to keep yelling about Magic the Gathering. So if you want more of that, subscribe, hit the like button, and comment below and let me know what you want me to do. I know that a lot of you are probably more interested in learning about Magic and learning about the details, so I want to continue to move my content towards teaching you and educating you. So I'll try my best to do more of that and also cover all the drama and interesting things that's going on. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.